Hello, I'm Elise Suna. I'm the Education Director with the Melissa Institute for Violence Prevention and Treatment. And today I wanted to share with you something that we've compiled of really during all of this, that we're in our ways of coping. It's to bring science to you for free, and something that's really science really supports is the importance of developing and building resilience. And it's not really always building resilience, because this resilience is something that we have, that we possess, that we have the capacities for. And it's really just, how do we access that? How do we access our internal capacities to bounce back, to survive, um, and eventually to thrive? And we broke them and we call them the 6 C's. The first C is caring. This includes caring for yourself and finding those things that bring you joy, bring you excitement, bring you happiness, even if it's not to the same extent as it did before all of this. That it's finding those things and consistently doing those things, and being caring for yourself and nurturing yourself. Um, but also, like I said, acknowledging you're not operating at your top self. Um, and we do this in many ways. We do this by taking walks outside. If we feel comfortable, we do this in other ways that we may exercise, or drinking water and nourishing your body in that way. Could be reading a good book, catching up on something, and not to do something that's caring for yourself and not so goal directed. Just something that just feels fulfilling. The next C that we talk about is compassion. And I think, to me, the C is the most important. And the C, as I'm talking about each C, that compassion is threaded throughout, because we have to have compassion for ourselves, for others, and just understanding we're all going through this and we're all trying to cope. And someone's way of coping may not be your way of coping. Some people really put their head down and set so much structure and try to maintain some control in that, and having a goal, having things that want to meet, gives them a sense of purpose. And some people, they want to just take a step back and not operate at their top level. They don't not thinking about what's coming next. They're just living day to day. Let me get through this. And those are just two possible ways of coping. There's so many others. And not to have judgment and placing judgment on those, because as soon as we place judgment, we get rid of all of the curiosity. And because judgment really cuts curiosity off. And curiosity is crucial in having curiosity for ourselves, our own experiences, forgiving us our own experiences, is crucial to resilience and to getting through. And and just that understanding of the things that once all the rules we once had just don't always apply right now. The third C is connectedness. We need to connect with others. We may reach out more by phone or by Zoom if you're not tired of Zoom yet. Sometimes it can be really overwhelming. Zoom, having multiple faces that we're watching all the time, can feel really overwhelming at this point. But if maybe it does, it can be nice to connect, and maybe a one-on-one can be better than big group gathering, whatever feels good for you. Maybe you prefer phone calls or text. There's so many different ways. We are fortunate to live in a time with so many different ways to connect and to engage. with others. Because really shared experience and the collectiveness of it all can be healing. We're all going through this. We're all experiencing something. We're all experiencing loss. We're all experiencing grief. We're all experiencing uncertainty. And to share that experience, to be in that with others, to speak of your experience is healing. Our fourth C is community. I think it's important to acknowledge that we are already, by staying inside, like I am inside my place where I feel I have not left this couch in days. I swear. But to staying inside is giving back because it's protecting all of us. But also it can be fulfilling to give back in other ways, to volunteer our time in ways we can, to donate blood, to give back financially, to support your local businesses, and keeping them going through this time, to making sure you frequent your favorite restaurant. All those ways are ways in which we can give back. And altruism is a very important part of resilience. Our fifth C is communication. And with this, we mean the importance of receiving good communication and good information about what's happening, so we can feel empowered ourselves to make the decisions we need to stay safe, to keep our families safe, to decide what we feel is best. We're hearing a lot of communication right now about restrictions and the lifting of restrictions, and it's important that we know what those are, and not to say we do whatever as soon as the restrictions are lifted, we go and do these things. It's to make those decisions for yourself. And we need it to be clear communication, but without obviously overloading, because it can be easy to get down the rabbit hole in Facebook when all of these your news feed has all these information about what's new with COVID-19. Last C is competence. And competence is just really acknowledging what we have achieved. So maybe you finished a project you've been working on for a while. I took a lot of pride in even recording this video. I've been putting this off for some time. So I'm going to give myself some kudos for finishing it. But it's those little things, because we need to have a sense of pride in what we can do right now and what we can get done, and acknowledge what we're capable of, and what we can do to get through as we get through this. We'll get through this with each other in some way. So thank you for listening to our 6 C's, and take care.